please.
Thank you. Mayor and Assembly, my name is Tam Bovey. I'm a 25-year resident of Willow, and I live on a substandard road. Most of the residents attending tonight live on substandard roads because most of the borough roads in District 7 are substandard. And yet you seldom see anyone from this district at an assembly meeting complaining about it. Not during breakup or dry, dusty summers or wildfires or snowstorms. And we've had more than our share of all of those things. The reason we don't pack the assembly chambers complaining about our roads is our road superintendent, Mike Lackelt. He's retiring after 23 years at the Mat-Su Borough. Mike has worked around the clock on weekends and holidays to monitor the conditions in Big Lake, Willow, Caswell, Susitna, and Trapper Creek. It's a huge area with numerous weather zones. Mike doesn't just know the roads, he knows the residents. And he's built up a network of people who keep him posted on road conditions and new road concerns. And he's somehow able to address them with some very low budgets. He's dedicated and honest and has worked tirelessly to see that our tax dollars are spent wisely. Mike, I hope you're listening tonight. Thanks for caring about us and keeping us safe for 19 years. Best wishes for your retirement. We'll miss you. Thank you.
Melinda Dale.
Assembly members, my name is Melinda Dale, and I'm here tonight to say thank you. As a Willow resident and Library Association member, this new facility is a dream come true. Our library is the heart and hub of our small community. Our former library was half the size with outdated infrastructure and shelves which were not ADA compliant. Library staff needed more room to work and did not even have a bathroom within the library. We came before the assembly several times to ask for borough support to build our new library. After working with 4Acre Group to create a development plan, we applied for grants and received a generous one, almost $1.7 million from Mat-Su Health Foundation, contingent on securing additional funding. The borough shared our vision for Willow, understood our need for a larger, modern facility, and committed financial support. With additional contributions from Foundation, ConocoPhillips, BP, and 3 Bears, as well as former Mat-Su Mayor Vern Halter, and many local businesses, organizations, and individuals, this vision became a reality. Our donor wall highlights donations from all. Our new library is busy. 160 new library cards have been issued since we opened in September. Children's storytime participation has grown. Classes of elementary school students visit to complete research projects. Advisory boards, the Trail Committee, Lions Club, Garden Club, local fiber artists, and many others use our meeting room. A business center provides services not available at any other Willow location. A wonderful children's area and separate teen area provide a welcome for young readers. Library staff now has a clear line of sight, and ADA shelves are accessible to all. Computers make it easy to access free Wi-Fi. An extension of the Borough Planning Office is currently housed in one of our study rooms. Patrons may even enjoy the ambience in front of the fireplace when they come to check out books. Willow loves and uses its new library. We are grateful and will treasure it for many years to come. Thanks to all who supported this project.
Bernadette White Frost.
Good evening, Your Honor, and Assembly members and honored guests. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening, and I'm talking about the restoration of signage on this building. My name is Bernadette White Houston Frost, big mouthful. I'm the daughter of Ray and Rosalie White, who were early settlers and civic leaders and business owners in Willow. In fact, this community center was dedicated to my mother, Rosalie M. White, in honor of the legions of hours she dedicated to the community. You'll see her featured in a number of variety of displays in the Willow Museum, such as the dedication of the Willow School, and the development in early days of the first Willow Community Building, which now serves as the Willow Museum, and the establishment of the Willow Winter Carnival. The museum is an important asset to the community to celebrate all of those who contributed so much to establish the improvements we take for granted today. It can also serve as an inspiration for those who follow and to further their contributions of their time and talents to enhance our community. I'm raised Alaskan. We still have the homestead, still live there. In the summers, children are raised here, and they're very proud of their heritage and the value that their grandparents contributed to this community. On the stage, you'll see pictures of my mother and family as they were part of all of the dedications and of the various events. So at the time of the completion of this building, we contributed funds to have the signage on the exterior of the building to reflect the full name of the building, which was the Rosalie M. White Community Center. And at some point over the years, it got removed. And we were told that when the construction was completed, that signage would be restored or replaced, and that there are funds available to do so. So it's been a few years now, like maybe 10, and I respectfully request that the building construction has now been completed, the library, beautiful library is completed, that the original dedication to my mother, Rosalie White, be acknowledged and the building be properly signed to reflect that. So we thank you for the consideration of this request, and I would really look forward to sharing the new signage with my family and friends in the summer or whenever it gets completed. So thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Tom Phillips.
Good evening, Mayor, members. My name is Tom Phillips. I'm the primary Greater Willow RSA, Road Service Area Board. And I just wanted to extend a thank you to Mike Lackle for all of his years of service. Me and my fellow members of the advisory board, Bill Dale and Todd Smolden, have all been on this active board for 6 years. And through Mike's guidance, we have done wonderful things with our community and the roads. We're still short on some of them that need to be improved, but we're doing the best we can with the funds available. And we want to thank the Borough Assembly for all the work that they're doing to help us reach our goal. And thank you very much.
And Madeleine. Good thing you don't have a comment. If it was Mary or something, you'd never know, right? Thank you.
Madeleine Gokey here.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor DeVries, members of the Assembly, neighbors from afar, and fellow Willow folk. Once again, thank you all for making the effort to come north or south for tonight's meeting. I'm here as a representative of the Willow Area Community Organization Historical Committee, also known as the Willow Historic and Wildlife Foundation, to extend our appreciation for all of the work that's been done to rehabilitate the old log community building next door. For those of you who are not familiar with the building or its history, it's located adjacent to this building across the parking lot in that direction. Since 1961, when it was built on donated time and state of Alaska land by local Willowites, the building has been a fixture in our community. It was dedicated in 1962 by Governor William A. Egan and is the only building in Willow to be recognized on the National Register of Historic Places. It has seen many iterations over its lifespan, the most recent being the home of the Willow Museum and the Willow Historic and Wildlife Foundation. In our museum was to focus on homesteading in the community, including the history of Waco and the Willow State Winter Carnival, along with indigenous peoples of the area, mining up in Hatcher Pass, and local and Alaskan wildlife. We also had a Willow Mushers Hall of Fame in our museum, and although we're currently homeless, we inducted our newest member, Dallas CV, this spring. Up on the stage, we put together a small display to show some recent activity prior to 2018 in the old museum, along with some of our future plans for the new museum. Since June of 2018, the old log building has been in the hands of the borough and has undergone extensive upgrades and improvements, including running water and flush toilets. When the work is completely finished this spring, the building will be added into the new management agreement that the Mat-Su Borough is currently negotiating with Waco for this building. We, the Historical Committee, are looking forward to that time so that we can begin to take artifacts and memorabilia out of storage and dust them off. We're eager to get started and look forward to recreating an educational and fun museum for all of the community to enjoy in the newly upgraded old log building. Please take a moment to peruse the pictures and enjoy our display on the stage. And once again, thank you.
Do you see that? Brenda McCain. Brenda McCain.
Right there is Vern Halter.
Good thing I could read the V.
Thank you very much for coming to Willow. We always enjoy this event, and thank you all for coming. I'm here today to represent the Willow Community Emergency Response Team, WillowCERT. WillowCERT is a group of volunteers. We're part of we're one of 2,700 CERT teams nationwide. We have completed a standardized FEMA training program in order to become members of a CERT team. It's a standardized FEMA training program. You have to take it to be off like everybody else is on everything, but we're planning on November to expand our team. We train regularly to become, we're not professional responders, but we are capable neighbors helping neighbors. We work to promote emergency preparedness and safety in Willow. Our team is trained to play a supporting role in disasters and other emergencies and events, and are activated by the Mat-Su Borough Department of Emergency Services, EOC, when we are needed in that role. An example of what we've done, I was looking at our numbers. We did help out a lot during the pandemic. We helped with, in January, March, WillowCERT alone spent 250 hours, and also some of this was in the fall, but in 2021, we spent 250 hours in supporting roles at the vaccine clinics, everything from sanitizing pens and clipboards to managing traffic in the parking lots. But we spent a lot of that time at the Palmer Fairgrounds. People drove down in the dead of winter to do that. Our team was formed in 2015, and for several years we were the only CERT team in the Mat-Su Borough. There are now 5 CERT teams. There's Willow, Talkeetna, Palmer, Wasilla, Butte, and Glacier View, and there's an upcoming training for Trapper Creek, so they will have a CERT team there soon, which is great. CERT members maintain and refine their skills by participating in activities and exercises. We do joint exercises with the borough, with the Red Cross, with a lot of state agencies to keep our skills up. We attend supplemental training opportunities and volunteer for projects that improve community preparedness. Some of the things we do here is we promote safety at 4th of July parade, trunk or treat in the parking lot here at the community center. Recently, sadly, we helped with the traffic management for our former fire chief Lori Worstemer that passed away. So that's the kind of things that we do. So what I want to talk about today and to the Sioux Valley Emergency Preparedness Fair. We're on this, like everything else. We had it in 2016 and 2018. It's going to be held here May 7th Saturday, May 7th, 11 to 2, and we already have 23 agencies, groups, and businesses signed up to be inside and outside the community center. And last time we did it, we had, I think, 30 groups sign up. So far, we've got 23. And so I'd like to invite all of you. It's a free event with safety, preparedness, exhibits, and activities for all ages, lots of hands-on activities. It'll be hosted by Willow and WillowCERT. And if anybody on the Borough Assembly or anybody in the audience would like to sign up to help, I'm here to take down names. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayor Halter.
My, how things change.
Yeah, right.
Mayor, welcome, and I'm just here to welcome everybody and thank you for coming up to Willow for the budget hearings. It's been one of those things that really has helped the Upper Valley over the past 10 years, having the budget hearings up here. We're at Susitna Valley High School because they're actually building this project right now, the library. So, and I want to thank you, some of your assembly members that voted for the Willow Library project. It's just been one of the most wonderful things that happened to Willow here. And so thank you for that too. I really wanted to say hi to Mr. Spropoulos, Cheyenne Handel, Madam Clerk. Every once in a while I get teary-eyed when her, Mr. Brown, thank you for all the extra work you do for us in the borough. And the old log building, it is fun to see it finally come to fruition. Some of you assembly members hit the bullet. Any better. And I wish the folks that manage it, and I hope it comes to fruition that it will last for many, many years. And yes, Madeleine, it does have a bathroom. And things like that are kind of important. But thank you very much, Assembly. Thank you very much, Mayor. And it's fun to be here with you tonight. So take care of yourselves.
And thank you for your years of service, sir. DJ McBride.
Good evening. I'm DJ McBride. I'm the chair of RSA 15 Caswell Lakes. And I'm here to express my appreciation for all that Mike Lackle has done over the years for our RSA. He has always been there for us. I could call him, I could text him, and he would always be on top of it. I would mention a problem and he'd go, oh yeah, we'll get that squared away. And it would get squared away right away. He was knowledgeable, experienced, considerate. He really had a line on his job, and we are truly going to miss him when he leaves. And I just wanted to express our appreciation, the whole board's appreciation for all of the work that he has done for us, and hope that his endeavors in the future will be as much fun as working for us was. Thank you very much.
Dan Tucker.
Good evening. I'm Dan Tucker from Wasilla and Willow, property in both areas, and a member of RSA Board Number 9. I'm here to speak primarily about Mike Lackle tonight. I have to go back to 1977 in June when I was moving into an unfinished house in Wasilla that I built using electricity from the neighbor's house across the street because MEA was on strike. I found a generator, big diesel generator, called a friend of mine in Anchorage that knew how to work on them and get them running. Late at night, he got his roommate, who had just come in from some godforsaken place off and away, whether it was an island or a camp, rousted him out of bed, told him he was going to Wasilla, and they came out to my house. The friend I didn't know at the time was Mike Lackle. I've known Mike since 1977. They came out, they fixed that generator, they got it running, and we have interfaced a number of times, both privately and professionally, through the RSAs over the years. According to what I was told, the roommate just arrived back to his room. I got off my notes. Let me get back in place here. He told Mike that he was going to get up and go to Wasilla. They came out and got me going. I say here the tired, unwilling, but forced Mike was the guy that came out. Didn't see or hear from him for a while until I found out that he was with the Borough Public Works. Mike's been an RSA superintendent for some years now. We've interfaced a number of times. He has often been the substitute for Will Barrickman, who has done a tremendous job for us. I know they work back and forth because they're short-staffed and have to cover each other. Mike has always been hardworking. He's always been willing to go the extra mile. He's always gotten the job done regardless of what had to be overcome. And he's done that right up to this day, since 1977. 25 years later, Mike is still that way. I don't doubt that I could call him any time or day or night and still get the same get-her-done attitude and performance. It's a measure of the man that he is. I know he's going to hear this at some point in time. I was told that he might even be listening into it. I do want him to hear this. Congratulations on your retirement, and I won't call you after midnight. I'll add one other note that with Mike's retirement, that's more depth, more knowledge, more experience gone from the RSA's Board of Superintendents, superintendents. And I know, having watched them, having worked with them, having depended on them for a number of years, they could use some help. I know that it's been brought to your attention more than once that it would be nice to have an extra superintendent around to divide their huge workload some. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Thank you.
Linda Oxley? Linda? There she is. There she is.
Good evening. Welcome, Mayor, Assembly people, and staff. We're out here in Willow, and we look forward to many, many years. And I have three things to just quickly say. Number one, in addition to thanking everybody for the support for the library, we really appreciate all the work that went into this part of the building as well. And we look forward to all the pieces getting finished across these next months. Second, our Assemblyman Ron has brought some plates of cookies from home, so please, it's up there with the rest of the goodies. But the main reason I wanted to speak is on behalf of Talkeetna, who were unable to be here today. A big thank you goes out from the Talkeetna RSA 29 Road Board to retiring Borough Road Superintendent Mike Lackalt. Mike, you've done a heck of a job over these many years, and the taxpayers, traveling public, and our roads are much better for it. You are exceptionally good at what you do, and it has been a pleasure working with you. We'll miss having you around, but happy that you are now able to enjoy a well-earned and well-deserved retirement. We wish you many, many rewarding, enjoyable, and healthy years to come. The best to you, signed John Strassenberg, Robert Gerlich, and Billy Fitzgerald. Thank you.
Mike Shields? Mike?
Mike, a supervisor for the Greater Butte, so I'm a long ways from home. And I came here specifically to say sayonara to Mike Lackalt. I'm going to date myself. This is my 26th year as an RSA supervisor in that area. And two things impressed me right off the bat when I first met Mike, and he and I have kibitzed back and forth pretty much continuously over the years. He had an excellent background, construction, maintenance activities. You're going to have a hard time finding somebody with that much experience under his belt to fill that position. The other thing which actually impressed me even more is he understood public service. Mike Lackalt was trying to do the best with limited funds in an area that has a lot more roads than it has tax base. And he was looking for long-term solutions that actually lasted and not short-term. I hope his successor has the same viewpoint. And if he doesn't, my guess is Mr. Lackalt will go talk to him. Anyway, to a good friend, and Mike, the one thing I'll tell you is be careful and learn how to sit on your hands, or you'll be busier in retirement than you were when you were working. Thank you.
Jim Houston? and sir, is it your flag? That,
Yes, it is.
well,
Well,
thank you very much for sharing that with us this evening.
I donated that to the Historical Society
Okay,
and forevermore.
thank you.
Good evening this evening, Mayor DeVilbiss, Borough staff, and Assembly. It's great to have you here to come up this way and listen to our concerns, and we're with great thanks to what you've been doing in the last few years. You've been very good to Willow. You drive through Willow and you see the new ice rink, the bridge that allows us to get out to the highway, those that's on the other side of the river, and the new library, and for the special funding that you were able to dig up to continue and finish the log community center that is so dear to us. That is my biggest task in the last 15 years, is to get that revived from a downtrodden building that we had so many memories of being in. This building was built up right next to it. It used to sit where it is now. And those first years, our carnivals would be spent in here, just in luxury in this building and in that building, doing the things that we did for so many years and enjoying it. Then for a while, for lack of maintenance and funding, it went downhill a bit. But there were 16 code violations and a lot of love behind getting it back into shape. And the fire marshals approved it for use, and we had meetings, and we started building the museum there, and dearly, and we still do. We look forward to being able to the history of Willow back into that building and into the community. There's not as many people around now that we used to share our time with and used to enjoy that building, but their children and their grandchildren, we want to pass that message right on to them, that this was a great place. That building was built with their own hands, and not very often can you afford to build anything these days, but we have something to be proud of over there. But I'm saying that we were always proud of that building and appreciate that all you've done to help us get it back into shape to the point it is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the people that signed up for audience participation, and now I'll open it up to anyone else. Yeah, you don't have to have signed up. You're still welcome to come testify. You can testify to the assembly and myself regarding any matter that you would like to bring to our attention. So is there anyone else from the audience that would like to participate there? Come on. Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name's Elizabeth. I've moved to Willow in 2018, and I'm just so blessed to be here and be part of this community. I consider myself a Willow Billy now. And a couple of things that I feel are important is the future of our youth. I feel that because our youth are so important for our future, that I was considering, and I'm not the person to do this, but I'd like to put this out there, of developing a inventors club so that the young people who have ideas in science and ways to improve our community could have an input for the future. I think that's something that would probably be a club, an inventors club for young people. It would motivate them to use their God-given talents in areas that would benefit people. So I wanted to put that out there. I don't know if anyone's going to take notes. I won't. Another thing is, I I realize that we have a lot of resources here. We throw a lot of recyclable things away because we don't have enough support to be able to dispose of them properly. And I believe that there's a lot of plastic and paper and everything that can be, we have a volunteer twice a month where they can go and drop off things. But I, for one, miss it sometimes because I don't have those 3 hours available, although I try to plan it. And then another thing is a storage issue, putting all the bottles, plastic, paper, everything that we get. I could see that not going into the landfill, but going for a better purpose. That's my opinion. And I know other states have developed better recycling techniques. Maybe perhaps our youth inventor club could develop something or think of something like that. Another thing that came to my attention is when I've gone to the volunteer fire department, I can never find anyone there, and I can never find where the entrance is, and so I looked at the place, and it looked kind of like our firefighter could have a nicer place to stay when they're there. I don't know where they sleep, but it seems like the outside really needs work. That's my opinion. And I look around because I want to speak to someone, and I don't know where to go because there's really not a specific place, say, office here or something. And a while back, I found myself at a neighbor who was very ill, and I needed to call 911, and I waited and waited, and it took a long time. And I realized by communicating with others that it's either a big lake or a Caswell station that has to come into Willow as far as ambulance 911. So I was wondering if that is in the budget one day to have our own paramedic here and an ambulance where they could, since they have to travel emergency services. So that was something I thought, and about that, we need a 911 emergency close by in this area. So that was something else that came to my attention, and just things that I'm looking at, and hopefully it'll be in the budget because it's really needed for everyone.
Okay.
One more thing is, where I live, we have this, I'm really thankful for all the volunteers that work in the trails and everything. I don't think there's as nice a trails as there are here in Willow. I'm happy to be able to use them now. But the one where I live, it's so steep and up and down. I'm wondering who would be willing to perhaps work on it like they're doing on the other trails as well. So those are some of the things that I wanted to share. And thank you for your time and coming up here. I know you have to leave your families to be here. But God bless you all, and thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I think, Elizabeth, there are at least two people in the audience that probably, one person on recycling that probably will hit you up after the meeting. And then we also have one of the staff that can probably talk to you about the fire department and EMS. So maybe you can get those couple of things taken care of tonight before you go home.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to address the assembly? Okay, see no one else, then I will close on participation. And the next item on our agenda is public hearing.
Ordinance 22022, an ordinance appropriating monies from the central treasury for the borough operating funds, enterprise funds, education operating fund, and capital funds, establishing the rate of levy for all borough functions for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023, and setting the surcharge rate for the wireline wireless enhanced 911 system for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
I'm going to open up the public hearing. We do have some people that have signed up. I'll call on them first, and then we will also, again, open it up for anybody else that would like to testify. So Rick Peterson.
Good evening, Assembly members and Mayor. Thank you for this time. My name is Rick Peterson. I am the General Manager at the Mount McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge. The Wilderness Lodge there is the largest hotel in the borough, and we are very excited after 2 years of not operating due to the pandemic to be getting ready for what we hope to be a very successful and busy 2022 summer. I have worked for several years now with the Matanuska-Susitna various capacities through my tenure at the lodge. And I definitely appreciate their efforts in marketing not only our location, but the entire borough as a destination. They have been successful in growing tourism to the borough prior to the pandemic, and I really believe that they are going to be instrumental in helping us to recover as travelers return. The recovery of our industry requires long-range planning and collaboration. That's why I am here to ask you to provide the Matanuska-Susitna with a sustainable funding model that includes a 3-year funding agreement. There is a lot of competition right now among destinations as travelers feel excited to get out and explore areas, and we need to capitalize on that demand for travel by aggressively marketing our destinations and inspiring visitors to choose Alaska and definitely the Matsu Valley for their vacations. Investing in destination marketing is a smart decision that pays off in the present as well as the future. And it's definitely an investment in hundreds of small businesses across the borough at a time when it is very much needed. So thank you very much for this time.
Thank you. Israel Mahay.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Good.
Nice. Start out here, dear Matsu Borough and Assemblyman and Mayor. Mahay's jet boat adventures was started by my dad, as a lot of you probably know, Steve Mahay in 1975, actually before I was born. And now I have taken over the family business from him. It's kind of cool, actually, if I retire when he does. It'll be 70 years in the family. Tourism is our passion, and providing visitors with an unforgettable experience is something we take considerable pride in. Through more than 3 decades, we have worked closely with the Matanuska-Susitna. My dad served as president of the board and I now serve on the board as well. I think I'm on my 9th year now. We see tremendous benefit in what they do and the importance of destination marketing. We rely on them to market Talkeetna as a destination because it directly brings customers to our doors. Those customers also stay in our local hotels, such as Rick's, bed and breakfasts, take other tours, and eat at our restaurants. They might not have known about Mahay specifically, but Matanuska-Susitna helps them find us. Having a strong destination marketing plan is important to a small family-run business like ours. We actually employ 28 locals, almost, I think, out of the 28 employees, this year was a little harder to find them, I'm not gonna lie. But out of those 28, 25 of them actually live in Talkeetna. So it's not like we're bringing people from out of state. I mean, these people that live here. Participate in a number of Matanuska-Susitna programs that help us bring more visitors to the entire borough. Asking you to support the Matanuska-Susitna funding because it makes a substantial difference for our local economy. Matanuska-Susitna is pro-business, and that is important as we look to lead the economic recovery after the tourism industry after COVID, which we know for the service, it was hard for everybody, but for the service industry, it was devastating. My company was down 90% the year that COVID hit, which if we didn't have help from like CARES Act money and those things like that, it would have been very, very difficult. As a business owner, I also know that that's important to have long-range plans and goals. That is why a 3-year agreement with Matanuska-Susitna is crucial. It allows the organization to plan for the future, which benefits. all I got. It's my first time doing this. Yeah. It's kind of fun. And I think I need to get more people from Talkeetna. I think I'm that, like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, right? Isn't that true?
Joe Pendleton? Is that what you said?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Joe Pendleton?
Sonia's checking on me.
Oh,
She might prefer the Grandma Joe better. That's what she told me. She said
oh,
it was okay to call her that. Yeah.
There's our queen.
I am the newest Waco queen. I was elected by the whole community of Willow, and I still get. But because I'm so involved in this community.
can I have you take the mic so everybody can hear, please? Can you sit at the chair and take, and speak into the mic? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I was elected queen of the Willow Winter State Carnival. Wakeland were nominated by a beautiful community to represent them. So, first time in my life, I'm a queen. And the Willow community did it. And that's my blessing from this community. So that's it.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
Joe, it looks like they did a very excellent choice. Anyone else in the audience that would like to address this ordinance on the budget? Give you a couple more seconds. I don't see any movement. Okay. Deputy Mayor?
I move to continue the public hearing for ordinance 22-022 to Monday, May 2nd at 6 PM.
Okay. And for those that are in the audience, that meeting will be in Wasilla at the Menard Center. And is there any discussion on the motion to continue? Okay. Is there any objection? Oh, no objection, and the public hearing is continued to Monday, May 2nd in Wasilla at the Menard Center. Now we're ready for comments, and so Assemblyperson Ron, do you have some comments, sir?
It's been an appreciation here to be in Willow and enjoying hearing all the comments, and thanks for the hospitality.
Assemblyperson Rob Yon?
Thanks, Mayor. Like I mentioned in our last budget meeting a couple days ago, I think tourism is the future for the Matsu Borough. It's played a role over the course of my life. I do believe in my heart it's going to play a bigger role moving forward. And a big part of that's going to be our salmon runs. And I just wanted to mention to everybody, we do have $500,000 in our budget this year for culvert replacement and repair. It's a big part of what has lowered our fish count over the years is the wrong type of culverts. And so since tourism was a big topic tonight, I thought I'd mention that. And other than that, thanks for the hospitality and the food. It really means a lot. Thanks.
Deputy Mayor, comments?
Just like to thank everybody, and always great to be out here in Willow. And yeah, I'm glad to see the new library turned out really well, and I was going to go check it out after this. Thank you.
Okay, Borough Clerk, comments?
Just would like to thank everybody for having us and the hospitality you bring with all the food, and the cookies are my favorites, so thank you.
And I didn't see any cookies, raisins in, so they must have heard your request, huh? Borough Manager Brown.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say thank you. Appreciate the hospitality. It's good to see, a couple of former elected officials out here. It's always fun to come to the Northern Valley. We enjoyed it last year at Sioux Valley. That was my first year. So this is my first year at Willow. I've heard about talk of the food for about a year. So it's good to finally take of that. So I do really appreciate the hospitality. And I also wanted to thank the school district folks for supporting us with the audio and whatnot. It really does make the logistics of these remote meetings a lot easier for us. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that. So thank you, Madam Mayor.
Assemblyperson Nowers.
Thank you for everybody who came out. It's good to see so many faces and so many passionate community advocates. It's nice to sit up here and get thanked for something that I didn't really do a lot for, because I've only been on the assembly for a couple of years, and there's people out here that sat up here who had a lot to do with it, and people in the audience and people on staff. And it's just refreshing to hear people thank borough staff, because what you mostly hear is when people are mad about things. So it's really nice to hear how those folks have contributed to the community and that the borough's doing good out there. So thanks, everybody.
Borough Attorney, staff comments, sir?
Just to echo everybody else, thanks for having us. I haven't met a sandwich I didn't like, I don't think. It was really, really weird not being here last year. So it's really nice to be back and look forward to several more years.
Thank you. And again, thank you for all that came out tonight. Appreciate your input on a variety of subjects. And as many of you know, I was mayor when this bill was years ago. So brings back lots of memories. And so I'm glad to see it rehabbed and still in use. So thank you all again for coming. And with that, I'll adjourn the meeting.